Tuesday afternoon, second live stream of the day. A lot to cover. I just uploaded my breakdown, prediction, and analysis of Zayas versus Chino, so you guys will get my prediction. Yesterday, I used our live stream to kind of help me figure out the pros and cons of each style. I had already watched the film study before we went live yesterday. I was just kind of torn. And after having watched more and more tape on both guys, specifically rewatched Chino versus Conwell, and then rewatched Zayas versus Spomer, and then watched Zayas versus Teixeira, I still think Chino's win over Conwell is probably better than the Teixeira win for Xander, but I just think Xander's going to be too athletic. I think he's too explosive. I think his jab's way quicker. There's a reason why people are really high on Xander Zayas. Chino Garcia is going to be a really tough fight. It's going to be a tough out. There's a couple bets I really like. If you have to pick one, my prediction, I already told you who I'm going with at $1.31. I think Zayas is great value. And if you want a prop that I'm going to add to our prop parlay later in the week, excuse me, when our book allows us to. Right now, the only prop I'm getting offered is the Zayas versus Chino. Will the fight go the distance? Or either or by stoppage or decision. I really like Xander by decision at $1.76. I'm not going to pull the trigger quite yet and tell you that's official, but my official bet right now on the money line is Xander Zayas to be too much for Garcia. It's going to be a good fight, guys. There's a lot of these matchups this weekend. Ryan Gardner versus Reese Bellotti in the UK. I'm doing my analysis, prediction, and breakdown of that fight. That'll be next. Also, there's a main event in Coachella, Indio Valley. It's a Golden Boy card. I put up the poll on our channel, so if you guys haven't voted, I'm interested in who you guys like in that fight. Manuel Flores fight. He's taking on Jorge Chavez. So that's going to be a good fight. Manny Flores is a big puncher, and Jorge Chavez is a smooth, slick boxer. So there's some good fights. You got the girls. You got Clarissa Shields. I already gave you my lock of the week. My lock of the week, guys, for the big boys, the big hitters, the boys who like putting a lot of money on a bet, it's already up in our VIP Boxing Insider section. So you guys already have that. I've given you my money line prediction on Xander versus Chino. And wherever you're tuning in, as you guys are checking in, that's the intro. We could get into this. Just like this video. Make sure you subscribe. And like always, we're building a community with our Johnny Says Boxing Insider group. That link is pinned in the comments here. It's a couple bucks a month. It helps me out. It helps the channel out. It also gives you access to our Discord with, as you see on this live chat, all the boys with the blue star. Those are Johnny Says Boxing Insider VIPs. Click the link that's pinned in the comments. A couple bucks a month. Duarte versus Sims. That's a fun fight. That's going to be a fun one. I think it was History Vault said that Chino's going to be the taller guy. He has, I think, a 2-inch reach advantage as well. He's crafty, man. He's aggressive. Like, the way he fought Conwell was, he fought him on the front foot, but he also fought him on the back foot. He allowed Conwell to lead when Conwell wanted to lead. And he had this uncanny ability to avoid Conwell's big shots while standing right in front of him. Now, we're going to see real quick if that was more or less because Garcia is super skilled or if Conwell just isn't who we thought he was, because I thought Conwell was that guy. David, Boacek avoiding boots, going to the distance with Michael Fox. Yeah, that fight, Boacek versus Fox, was all over the place. I mean, they initially signed on the contract that was supposed to be a fight on 154. We know Fox came up from 47. I think they both weighed. I know Boacek weighed in at 158, I think. Perez took a lot of shots. He's just durable. But he's also crafty in there. Yeah, I think we overweighted Conwell. DJ tuning in. I think that Zayas looks the goods to me. I think we're about to see the youngest boxing champion. I think well, I don't know if you said Conwell going life and death with some of Boots's leftovers. I mean, Conwell fights at 54. Boots hasn't even fought at 54 yet. So we'll see. I just was on, there's a channel out of Philadelphia, so I kind of give them a pass with how biased they are. So whenever you get a regional American boxing channel, you just got to expect them to be super biased. Whether it's a New York channel, in this case, it's a Philly channel, and they were on a live stream, so I kind of jumped in there. I was commenting. They were talking. They love gassing up Boots. Like, I like Boots Ennis, just like I like a lot of boxers. But when I see people overhype and gas up or hype, when I was coming up, we called it hyping up a fighter. Yeah, YSM. So I follow YSM. I like the channel, right? When they're doing live streams, though, it's insane how much they hype up Boots. These guys think Boots is Sugar Ray Leonard. They think Boots is, they think he has the power of, the biggest punchers we've ever seen. It's like they think Boots has the power of Ernie Shavers, and they think Boots has the footwork of, the defensive acumen of Pernell Whitaker. But I mean, I like Boots. I like Jaron Ennis. I feature him all the time. I think he's one of the best in the sport. But you try to get into a debate with one of those guys on YSM, they get so emotional. They get so emotional. They start swearing. No, mother, you crazy mother, this mother. I was like, bro, you asked me who do I think is the best at 54. I told you. And dude, don't say that Boots would be a good fight with Josh Kelly. Don't bring up Josh Kelly. Don't bring up Virgil either. Don't bring up Virgil. I said Virgil, dude, that's a tough fight. And they just think that. But I like Boots. When I see people who hype up someone like that, in the moment, it's in my nature to kind of just to push back. I'm not a follower. So when people, this isn't anything in life. If I'm around anywhere, and we're talking about anything, and the whole majority is going this way, I don't know what it is about me since I was a kid. Even if I agree, there's something in me that wants to push back and be like, I don't know. Be the contrarian. But yeah, Boots is good. He's tough. But to say he's just going to go to 54 and just clean house and beat everybody, you can't just say that. I mean, I'd like Jesus Ramos is a tough fight. And then they were trying to say that Skeezy, get healthy. They were trying to say that Yenis Tellez is the best at 154. I mean, I think Jaron, all he could keep doing is winning. Stanionis, he stopped Stanionis. We got plus money on that. So that just kind of goes to show you the bookies, the odds were the Stanionis fight for Boots to stop him. I think I got him at 375. So even though Boots, 90% knockout to win ratio, a lot of people were kind of iffy on that Stanionis fight. I definitely wasn't. We picked him to win, and we picked the stoppage. So, and, I like the Chukachin fights. The Karen Chukachin fights were tough. I like what he looked like against a Venetian. But, I have to see more at 54. I have to see what he looks like at 54. Yeah, Julius, it's going to be interesting. It's so, it was comical. It was comical on their live stream. They totally disregard, and you guys can see a pattern here. They totally disregard Virgil. They think Virgil's a bum. They think Fondora's a bum. They were talking trash about Boacek. They were talking trash about Madrimov. They were talking trash about Josh Kelly. It's like, bro, yeah, Eister doesn't like 54. Every time we talk about 154, David's like, nah, I'm not sold. He think J-Rock, J-Rock, he's nothing to, he's a good fighter. And Tellus just needs to get more experience. It's a good division. I like 54. Hey guys, did Raleigh get elevated? That's the rumor circulating. I haven't seen it announced yet, but I'm seeing people online starting to share it. Did anybody get that news, or does anyone have a credible source they could either put in the Discord or share in the chat? Does anyone have any credible source about Raleigh getting elevated as the 147 full champ? The reason why I'm interested in this, because that means we got Raleigh Romero as a 2-division world champion. That's awesome. That's insane. It just proves my point yesterday, what I was talking about. WBA route. It's a good point. History vault. These are topics you the people in the know understand what that means. You know, the more you understand boxing, the more you pay attention to, the more you do your research, you understand what the sanctioning bodies, the routes mean. Yeah, boxing fan. I haven't my Instagram and on our I have a Facebook group. People were trying to share it, but there really isn't a. So Raleigh is the weakest. I don't know. I would take Raleigh over Barrios. Just saying, I would take Raleigh over Barrios. I gotta be honest with you. I like if Raleigh is elevated because right now he's just he didn't have a full belt. So who are the champs at 46? Because Boots vacated, so Boots left. You have Barrios, Brian Norman Jr. We'll see if Raleigh got elevated. Okay, I didn't see it either, boxing. I don't know how much more experience Tellis needs. He just needs a big name. That's what I meant. I didn't mean experience. It's time for him to step, he can't. I wonder how much control. Who's managing him? Who's managing his career? We're talking about Yanis Tellis. Yeah, you don't get credit for that. You guys love. Hold on. We can't start having revisionist history. Come on now. We got to slow our roll. Some of the boys were talking insane about Ryan Garcia after he beat up Devin. So now the goalposts keep getting moved. He beats up Devin. His fans don't see that him testing positive even mattered. And then he loses to Raleigh. And then it's like, hold on, which one is it? Is he really good? Is he really great? Is he a drug cheat? Is he an Instagram model? Does he have the best left hook in boxing? Which I don't think he does. People say that he has the best left hook in boxing. That's insane to me. He has a good left hook. Is it the best in boxing? I don't know, man. There's some guys with pretty good lead hooks. I'm trying to see if I could find if Raleigh was elevated. Nothing on Raleigh. Yeah, I do not want to see. Come on, mate. Ricardo Velez. Now, Miguel Cotto better not come back. Miguel Cotto. I do not want to see old timers, dude. Yeah, he has a good left hook. I don't want to see old timers like who struggle with their faculties. It's like Sugar Shane fighting again. Shane could barely speak. YouTube took a couple years ago. I was trying to be polarizing, but not really. Still being in the pocket. So I did this video on Errol Spence Jr. I did this breakdown video of Errol Spence Jr. from his car crash up until the Terrence Crawford fight, and I put together all of these interviews since he was an amateur. So the viewer was able to see Errol giving interviews, seeing him speak. And you could just see this slow degradation. Even before the car crash, you could see Errol's speech getting degrading. And I wasn't doing it to hate on. I'm a fan of Errol. That's why I did it. And then I did the same. It got deleted. Then I did the same thing with Sugar Shane Mosley. Shane's speech. It's hard. I was a huge Shane fan. It's hard for me, even though it's part of the sport. I know, we have to deal with it. We have to live with it. We have to accept it. But it's tough for me to watch Shane struggle like that, speaking. The glossy eyes. It happens. It's from getting hit too much. Miguel Cotto has that. I don't want to see Cotto. I don't want to see Cotto fight again, man. He seemed like he's a family man. He's a legend. Let him retire as a legend. Stay, and hopefully it's not because of the money. But who am I to judge another man for their decision? So I'm not judging. Will I tune in? No. Did I watch Barrios versus Pacquiao? No. So will I watch if Cotto comes out? No. Landslide. Yeah, it's good. Got the Discord. Landslide, you asked for it, big baby. We got to bring it. You ask and thou shalt receive. Goat's on here got me learning software. Because of Goat, I downloaded new programs, learning software, and I was that close from trying it out today. So I'm going to try the software out tomorrow on our second stream. My laptop software, so you can see the screen pull up. But because my Mac is from 2020, the camera looks like it's from like the 80s, and it's gonna look. I don't know if it's gonna look that good. I know Spence EJ has a Southern accent, but when you see, I'll put the video together and not put it on, not even post it. I'll put it in our Discord group. It'll take me a couple hours. You could see it. There's a difference with having a slow Southern drawl. I lived in South Carolina for 2 summers playing baseball, 2001, 2002. There's a difference with having a low South Carolina, the Kakalaki drawl. Carolina girl, finest in the world. There's a difference with having a draw versus having an issue. Thanks, boxing fan. Yeah, sign up, boys. Miko Koto's only 44. Are you serious? I'm 43. Koto's only 44. But guys, Koto is an old 44. I remember Koto fighting in Madison Square Garden in 2003. When did he fight Paulie Malignaggi? I think he fought Paulie in 2003, maybe a little after. So I'm 43, Koto's 44. But Koto is an old 44. Koto's been in wars. You mix that with old Margarito's crazy ass? Hell nah. Crazy ass Margarito dipping his hands in fucking plaster a la Panama Lewis. Panama Lewis was involved in some shady. Panama Lewis had the water bottle with Aaron Pryor and the hand wraps. He was involved in that hand wrap incident too in the early 80s. The Irish, was it Irish Billy Collins? I think the Billy Collins fight. Horrible. Panama out here. Crazy. I mentioned this earlier. Golden Boy is going to shelf Conwell. Well, he hasn't fought since. He's been shelved. That's not crazy. You think Bilatti's going to stop Gardner? You think he's going to... So that plus money on Bilatti's not enough, Julius? You're going to get the stoppage? So let's do this real quick. Because I literally, if I flip the screen, you could see my TV, and that I'm editing it right now. Reese Bilatti versus Ryan Gardner. So Reese Bilatti's already a 315. Damn, everyone's leaning on Bilatti. I don't think so. Man. But Bilatti is already a $3.15 underdog. Him by stoppage, I'm not getting props on it. Yeah, I like Gardner too. I'm uploading my video tomorrow. I think, look, these British fights, this Bilatti Gardner fight reminds me of Maxie Hughes versus Archie Sharp. Like these sort of like older, even we just saw another one with Kakachi versus Lee Wood. Even though Lee was older, Gardner's younger than Bilatti. Luis Resto, yeah, there you go, Ricardo Velez. That was the hand wrap fight against Billy Collins, right? And Collins looks at his father and he's like, I don't know what he's hitting me with. His face was just, gotta do homework, boys. You think Shields wins decision? I think Clarissa only has one knockout? Am I guessing that, or does Sky Nicholson have more knockouts than Clarissa Shields? Is that did I make that up? Why do I think that? Sky Nicholson, I think. Okay, so Clarissa Shields has 3 knockouts. Sky might have 2. I would never take Clarissa. You're probably not even going to be able to get that option to take her by stoppage, are you? I have her on a lock, though. I think she definitely wins the fight. Isn't it crazy how Clarissa kind of markets herself as a knockout artist? Clarissa, and it's tough to not. I mean, she fights in a lot of different divisions. You know, she goes up and down a lot of weight classes. She has a 19% career knockout to win ratio, and the girls don't usually have, big power. But I'm pretty sure when you ask people about Clarissa Shields, I bet you could use that as sort of a trick question. Yeah, I mean, I bet you people would find it shocked that she only has 3 wins by knockout, is my point. I'm not saying she could crack for sure, but that's my point. I don't think many people know out of her 16 wins, only 3 are from knockout. But a lot of that has to do is, going up and down. Yeah, she, No, 2 fights ago. She won a UD in her last fight, and then she knocked out a girl, Vanessa Lepage, the fight before that. So this is her second fight of 2025. She's fighting in Detroit. It's her home. This is easy money. She's on that easy money parlay. There's I gave you guys a 5-leg. It's $1. I think it's $1.81. It is. That's a good point. Clarissa's knockout percentage is the Mandela effect. It's like Shaq playing in Kazam or Shazam. Shaq playing a genie. Damn, I wish Sky had one more knockout because that would be a great sort of narrative. You could use that because Sky, everyone always makes fun of her for not being able to crack. But Clarissa doesn't get the same thing. Who you going to the Golden Boy main event? Both undefeated. Landslide, are you talking the fight card on Friday between Jorge Chavez and Manuel Manny Fresh? I'm editing that because there's two. I think pretty sure there's 2 Golden Boy cards this weekend. I'm uploading the main event between Manny Flores and Jorge Chavez. Manny Flores, 2 workouts. My man's getting it in. That healthy lifestyle. Yeah, Manny Flores is the big puncher. He has So Manny Flores, higher knockout to win ratio. He's the puncher. And Jorge Chavez, if you had to categorize the two, he would be the slick boxer. He could crack as well. I like Manny Flores. I like Manuel Flores on that fight. And he's on my parlay. He's on my locks. I think it's a fun fight. It's a competitive fight. The odds are juicy. The odds on Flores are nice enough to fatten up. $1.29 just on the money line. Garner tends to drop his hands when he throws. If Bellotti can take advantage of, he can easily win. Yeah, the card is built around Bellotti as well, though. Can we see Pacquiao versus Cotto again? Oh, God. Oh, no. I hope not. I hope not. I hope we don't see Cotto versus Pacquiao again for the sake of us old heads. Jesus. No. Why not bring back Livingston Bramble and Boom Boom Mancini? They should have a trilogy. Rest in peace, Livingston Bramble. I'm going back to the 80s if you boys don't know who that is. Yeah. No. I'm not giving you my prediction yet. It's coming tomorrow. Duarte looking good. Duarte is a beast. Yeah, I like Duarte. That's a good fight next week, I think. Duarte versus Candace Sims. I'm uploading Bellotti versus Garner tomorrow. I'm editing it right now. I've given my prediction on it. I think Garner's tough. Yeah, like I said, go Ray Mancini versus Livingston Bramble 3. Let's do it. Livingston passed away a couple years ago. Jarnell Wilkerson, you gotta all the parlays, you gotta sign up. You gotta join the channel. It's only a couple bucks a month if you can. I got Cotto beating Pacquiao since he's 2 years younger. Ricardo Velez, you're really thinking about this. My man Ricardo Velez, no shade here, but you're really sincerely thinking about Pacquiao versus Cotto. I'm not trying to clown anybody. I'm dead serious. I thought you were clowning. We're not really talking about Cotto versus Pacquiao, are we? Come on, man. There's so many. I do like Garner. Yeah, it's weird how everybody. Let's stick to what's in front of us. I watched Gary from 3D Boxing. I watched his breakdown. I'm pretty sure he took Bellotti. He's leaning on Bellotti. I'm not high on either guy. This is one of those English domestic level fights, guys. So I think Garner, I don't see Bellotti. I mean, neither guy is like, I'm not excited about Reese Bellotti versus Ryan Gardner, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm way more excited about Manny. I like Manny Flores versus Jorge Chavez. I love that main event. If that fight card is in Indio, California, so Coachella. And I think isn't that JoJo? I'm pretty sure Manuel Flores is a JoJo Diaz guy in terms of his trainer. But we got to stay focused, boys. One of you boys, those are you in the Discord. Guys, if you see the boys on the chat with the blue star, join our Discord. The link is it's a pinned comment. It's a couple bucks a month. You get access. Somebody has fights on tonight. I guess there's a Russian card. So somebody posted in our Discord group about these fights in Russia, and I'm like, Jesus, what betting app is allowing you to bet on I'm talking about the coach Styles. Maybe I got that wrong. Isn't Joseph Diaz Dwayne Styles? I'm not talking about the fighter. I'm talking about the coach who coaches I think he's Manny Flores' coach. Let me double check. I think he fights out of Southern California. Gucci Man. Yeah, he fights out of, yeah, that's his coach. I was talking about the Coach Diaz. Spence Jr. has that Southern plus all the dental work from the accident time where. Nah, Ricardo Valle, 100% it's not. This is a narrative. Most recent I have is Thursday with Flores. Same. EJ's slowing down, mate. His communication is definitely not from the braces. Trust me on this. He was on a radio show in 2021. I'll try to find the video. No, that's not what it is, mate. EJ definitely has some lingering effects from trauma, and it's sad. There's no reason to deny it, and I'm not bringing it up to paint him in a corner. These are the effects of boxing. You even see it, guys. You even see it after a fight. So small, minor effects from being hit in the head. It happens after. A small sort of sign of it is when you're done training and you're speed talking. Talking like that. That's from it too. You see it all the time when boxers just going to find, they give an interview, man, I just did everything. I did what I had to do, and we just executed a game plan. We had it in there. He's a tough guy. And we just did what the coach said we had to do this, and we had to mount Gary, and I'm just looking for the next thing. I hope they give me a good fight, and yeah, that sort of thing. So that's still a sign as well. So you see both of them. You spend a lot of time in boxing gyms. It's brutal. Boxing's a brutal sport. That's why there's no room for people hating or calling fighters bums. Jesus, I posted Josh Taylor's retirement, and people in the comment section were saying, he's a bum. Who's that guy? That dude's irrelevant. I'm like, bro, this dude is a former undisputed champion. Was arguing with a Brit earlier who was saying their boxing is better. I don't know whether mine is. Yeah, Josh, better compared to what? Josh Ladd, better compared to what? So I could kind of give you my opinion on that. Yeah, Shane sounds horrible. No, Spence did not only take a beating against Crawford. Spence took a lot of punishment against some other fights. The Ugas fight, he got hit a lot. EJ got hit a lot. It's not like he was a slick defensive guy. Dwayne, I think Dwayne, I'll send you the link. I shouldn't have to. Do I have to? I'm not sure I have to accept friend requests, do I? Tyra versus Albazi had neck and heart surgery. We're going to get into the UFC in a bit. Oh, yeah, Lo Manello. Yeah, we're linked up in there. What a nickname. British boxing is better than U.S.? I mean, once again, Josh, I would need to know. Thanks, Goat. Yeah, you just need to click the link. So, Josh, to say which is better, British or American, how do you measure better? Is he saying there's better? I mean, right now, if you think about the heavyweights, is he saying there's better the heavyweight division is more stacked in the UK than it is in the US? Is that what he's saying? I like D-Style. Yeah, but exactly. See, Skeezy, my man. Great perspective. It's really hard. Like, when I think about boxing, I don't draw a line in the sand and say one is better than the other. Like, you think about Mexican style. You think about on the front foot, volume, pressure, grit, hearted nails, pride. You think of all that. Right now with the Japanese fighters, man, you think about smaller weight divisions, fighting, with a lot of pride, big punchers in the smaller weight divisions. So I love watching the Japanese fighters. When you think about right now the Brits, the UK, you think about heavyweights. We just saw Dubois, AJ as of recent years, Tyson Fury. We just saw Fabio Warley beat Hooney. So, and unfortunately right now, when you think about Aussies, unfortunately with Aussies, you see guys who make it to the world level, and when they travel across the pond, they don't have the greatest success. Santana reminds you. What's up, Boxing Bet 79? Appreciate you in the chat. There's a lot of fights in August. Nova could beat for me. All right, so we have like 5 separate conversations going on right now. I'm going to take the question from Boxing Bet 79 because that's in relevance to the fights this week. He said he's been doing film. Santana reminds him of Abdullah, the way he punches, just not as fast. And so I actually have that fight on. I sent you guys my first lock at the beginning of the week. And on the money line, he's referring to the Giancarlo Santana fight versus Aaron Alameda. Giancarlo Santana could crack. I think $1.16 right now on the money line. I'm not going to get too fancy with predicting knockouts. But I like Santana. I picked him 2 days ago as soon as I got odds, as soon as I got the opportunity to take him. I did. He's on my money line lock of the week. He's one of them. So I think that's do your tape. I mean, if you haven't seen Alameda yet, he's skilled, but I think he's going to be a step behind. Johnny, what is your favorite weight class at the moment? Can only pick for once. Okay, right now, Jinru, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the chat. I like 154 at the detestment or behest of David Eister. I like 154. I like how 154 is top heavy. But I also like how 154 isn't that old either. There's a lot of younger guys there. There's some big punchers at 154. It's a division that, traditionally has a lot of knockouts. I like 54, one of my favorites. There's a lot of guys that people overlook at 54 that, we just want to see those guys active. You could go from the top. You could go from 10 to 1 and find good fights. So 154 is my favorite right now. Guys, Sam Goodman versus Nick Ball. I told you earlier in the week, even though Sam Goodman doesn't, he's coming up from 22 to 26, that 4-pound weight jump, that's not a big significant weight jump. It's not like going from 40 to 47. So Sam Goodman could box, dude. Sam Goodman could box. Nick Ball, he's all on his front foot. He's very aggressive. We saw him recently. We saw him in the close fight against Raymond Ford. He's all action, all pride, all heart, super fun. But Sam Goodman's classy, mate. You're welcome, Jinru. Sam Goodman's a smooth operator. I don't know if Ball finishes Goodman, man. This is going to sound crazy, but I think Sam Goodman wins more rounds than Nick Ball. I'm not giving you my prediction yet, but as of right now, I like Sam Goodman as the underdog against Nick Ball. You guys are tripping. Watch, Sam Goodman can box. He has good feet. He has good hands. He has good feints. He has good entries. He has good defense. He's slick. Yeah, he's going to give Nick Ball a lot of problems. And, I'm interested to see, what odds are you guys getting? What are the odds right now on that you guys are getting with Goodman versus Ball? Because if it's anything over 2 to 1, I'm going heavy on that dog. If it's anything over 2 to 1, Sam Goodman, I'm going heavy on Sam Goodman. I've seen him fight in person for the last 3 years, and he's up for it too. Like, he's up for it here. He's not gonna run. Nick Ball versus Pitbull Cruz would be a barn burner. Well, Pitbull fights at 140. Nick Ball fights at 26. I can see, well, Pitbull could go down to 35. And Nick Ball, I don't know if Nick Ball goes past 130. I don't know. We'll see. It's not, stylistically, though. I don't know, man. Nick Ball is that guy. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like him because he's kind of dirty. It's not that I don't like him, GOAT. I'll tell you why. Yeah. Okay. So it's not like that I don't like Nick Ball. I'm more of a fan of technicians. I like Sam Goodman's technical side. Belichick missed weight. Looks like David. Okay, Goodman. $100 on Goodman. You get your money back plus 300. Let's eat. I'd put 250 on Goodman and be happy with it. I don't want to go back down Maryland. David's hilarious. They fight the same only with hooks. Yeah, Dwayne, that's what I mean. They do. It's a good call. I don't know if we'd ever see it, though, just due to weight classes. Goodman got more. So well, Goodman, I mean, Rafa, one of my favorite fighters. Rafa, I want to see Rafa versus Shushu Carrington. Nick Ball versus Shushu. I'd rather see Rafa versus Shushu, to be honest with you. Because I think a guy like Rafa Espinoza would bring the best out of Carrington. And I think Carrington's a dog, would stay right there. I think Espinoza pieces up. I think Espinoza stops Nick Ball. But I think that Espinoza would have his hands full with Carrington. Nick Ball finished well, messed up Vargas, got a draw, beat the technician right for it. I could see this being a bad matchup for Goodman. Definitely has slurred speech. Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's sad to see Shane speak like that. You don't see Sam Goodman winning. We'll see. I watch, like I said, I've seen a lot of Sam Goodman tape. He's a really smooth operator. He sets things up. He could score. He knows how to score points. He knows how to win rounds. He uses the whole ring. I think Ball, I think Sam Goodman's style could make Nick Ball look average. I got to be honest with you. A style like Sam Goodman's will take Nick Ball's style and put him on his front foot, get him out of position, Goodman will be countering him a lot, angle it off. Frustrating Ball. I don't like that. I actually don't like that matchup for Nick Ball. I got to be honest with you. Espinoza's my guy. Rafa, every time. Espinoza, what he did to Vasquez. Now, Edward Vasquez, he had a handful of losses. Vasquez is a tough fighter. And Espinoza pieced him up. Damn, the chat's going off. Yeah, watch some Sam Goodman tape, History Vault. You think Ford's the best guy at 130? I don't. I'm not high on... This is going to sound controversial. I'm not that high on Raymond Ford, mate. I'm not. I think that Kakachi would have beat Ford. I do. I don't like... I like Ray Ford as of late. I like Ray Ford the last few fights, how he's kind of adjusted his style. He's becoming more offensively minded. But I don't know, man. I think Kakachi's old gritty British style would have given Ray Ford all the fits he could have handled. I think Sugar Nunez beats Ray Ford at 130. There's some guys at 130 that'll make Ray Ford, answer a lot of questions. Ray Ford fought a tough Thomas Matisse, but Matisse really was never a world level guy. Couldn't really get Matisse out of there. I don't know, man. I think Sugar Nunez beats Ford at 30. I definitely rate Sugar Nunez over Raymond Ford. I think Kakachi beats Raymond Ford at 30. Abraham Nova. We haven't seen Nova in a while. When's the last time we saw Nova? Is he forgotten about? Is he the forgotten man? Is 79 pro? Albert fought my boy already. Landslide. We featured Chop Gonzalez on the channel when he fought my boy Dana Coolwell. Yeah, Kakachi gave up his belt. No, Kakachi dog ditched Nunez to fight Lee Wood. You're hyped for Moses Ituama versus White Card. It's a good card. Hobson Conceição. Yeah, 30 got some names, boy. Oh, yeah. I think it was Conceição versus Nova 2 times. Is that the last time we saw him fight? With Shaky Foster. Love Nova's. Yeah, I just think that there's certain styles at 130. Like, I don't know. If you ask me, stylistically at 130, I'm not too excited to watch Shaky Foster. Look, he's a good defensive guy. I'm not like when he fights, I cover him. You know, he's a legit champion, legit world level. I think there's guys below him at 130 that are big punchers that could definitely turn the division, change the trajectory of the division. You know, from sort of a defensive-minded counterboxing defensive approach to front foot big puncher champion sort of approach. We'll see what happens. Mate, trust me, it's not my Jinru. It's not my exact prediction, but you know, the fight's coming up in a couple weeks. There's a lot of people sleeping on Sam Goodman, man. Watch his tape. He could box. He's not a knockout guy. He's not a knockout guy. And the average person, and it's fair to say, yeah, but he's moving up from 22 to 26. He couldn't crack at 22. How's he going to punch at 26? From 22 to 26, that's not a big jump. Like I said, it's not going from 40 to 47. 40 to 47 is a decent jump, but 20 to 22 isn't. And basically how Ball fights, you know, Ball's not the most, it's not a shocking statement to say Nick Ball's not the most technical guy. And he kind of, I think Nick Ball is like I'm not going to say who he reminds me of. He's kind of a Timu version of somebody else, but I'm not going to say it. The upset this week is Shushu. Nah, you're crazy. Bruce Carrington, you're crazy. The African fighter could crack, but watch his film. Shushu pieces him up. Bruce Carrington could box. Rohan is definitely winning this weekend. Rohan Polanco, every time he fights, I'm tuning in. Yeah, Zayas is going to be too explosive. Goodman is better than Ford. No. I mean, Goodman's a 22. I mean, if you're trying to do boxing maths because Nick Ball beat Ray Ford and now they're fighting at 26, so obviously Nick Ball must beat Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman's a really good boxer. That's all I'm saying. He's a smooth operator. He can win rounds. I think Sam Goodman versus Raymond Ford, if we're trying to score rounds, would be a closer fight. I think Sam Goodman's going to impress you guys, mate. I really do. I think he's going to shock a lot of people against Nick Ball. Based on styles, I don't see Nick Ball knocking Sam Goodman out in no means. Like, I think that, remember you heard it here. Sam Goodman and he's mean. Like, when you follow him, dude, Sam Goodman has a traveling section. The dude locally here is like, how do I put this? When you watch Sam Goodman fight nationally in Australia, he has a traveling section that travels with him everywhere called the Mad Bunch. So even when he's not main eventing, the whole section of these gnarly, crazy people follow him everywhere. He's a madman. Sam Goodman, dude, there's something about him. You know, he wanted that Inoue fight. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. You know, I had my words to say about that, about his camp. Who the hell is going to have him spar heavy rounds the week of fighting Inoue, the week of, you know, making your money, about to get paid, and you get a cut and have to pull out from the biggest opportunity? I'm not saying I had Goodman. Goodman versus Inoue is a horrible matchup. Inoue's big punching, one-punch knockout, aggressive style against Goodman, that's kind of a, you know, that was a bad matchup. But Goodman still thought he was going to win with his boxing skills and his angles and his, you know, sort of pitter-pat volume, win rounds, angle. I don't put Nick Ball in that category of Inoue at all. I'm not that high on Nick Ball, guys. I'm not. I think Nick Ball's average. I do. In terms of what he presents to a technician. I'm not saying, my bad, I'm not saying Nick Ball is an average boxer. If we're going to play the styles, I think Sam Goodman has a high world-class level technical style. I do. I think Nick Ball's style isn't world-class. That's all I mean. Is it good enough to be a world champion? We know that. but they say styles make fights for a reason. It's interesting when you see Bernard, wasn't it B-Hop who couldn't beat Jermaine Taylor? And my boy Kelly knocked out Jermaine Taylor and beat Jermaine Taylor twice. And B-Hop beat my boy Kelly and made Kelly look very, very average. Styles make fights. So that's all I'm saying. I think it's a good conversation to have. I think as we get closer to that fight card, we could talk about it more and more. Cesar Vaca, we last saw Goodman in Australia. He headlined. I was at that fight. He fought a tough Mexican, Cesar Vaca. And, you know, he had some adversity. The ring was kind of wet. I think he got cut in that fight. Cesar Vaca was a scrappy. I think Cesar came in undefeated. Scrappy Mexican. You know, he had Cesar on his knuckles, have the MS-13 on his knuckles. And he was trying to get into Sam Goodman's head the entire time, and it wasn't working. Yeah, 23. Duarte versus Sims is coming up. That's a fun fight. Carlos Vargas, my man, appreciate you. Guys, get that blue star by your name. Join our club. We got a Discord. We got a VIP Discord with all the blue stars, couple bucks a month. You get all the picks. You get all the parlays. Jinru, if you want the picks and parlays, join the club. It's a couple bucks a month. You get access to all the boys as well. It's an ongoing chat. Will the fight go the distance? Ball? Yes. I love that bet. Will the fight go the distance? Yes. Boxing fan, we need everybody to hit the like button, but some of the boys are lazy. It's all good. I got Duarte, but he's a roid machine. Oscar Duarte, he's a roid machine. Oh God, hopefully I did not start that rumor. Hopefully I don't recall 79 being in our chat, so I don't think you heard that from me. But it's not as shocking to even say that, is it? I mean, just how he looks. Take the over on Shushu. I don't see Shushu. You don't see Shushu becoming a champ. I think Bruce has it. I think Bruce is tough, man. Brownsville, New York. Brownsville, New York. Mike Tyson. Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Brownsville, New York. You don't believe in Bruce Carrington? I think Shushu has the goods. Ball favors power punches. Goodman output is way more. I think Goodman wins more rounds. Skeezy. I think Goodman wins more rounds than Ball, and I don't think Ball has the power to. I don't think Ball has that very thudding power to kind of worry Goodman. Wipe your feet before you enter the chat. I love it. So he did. Okay. Junior Baregi in the house. What's up, buddy? Carlos Vargas. So let's talk about the fights this week. We're about 48 minutes in, guys. If you go to my playlist section, I just uploaded the prediction video. It's about 12 minutes of Xander versus Chino. I give you both guys' careers. We talk about their path to victory. We talk about what they do really well. And then I give you my prediction. I was torn on Xander versus Chino. Chino versus Conwell really impressed me. I was surprised about how good Jorge Garcia Perez looked. But I just think that Xander Zayas is going to be the youngest world champion. Xander beats Chino this weekend at 22. He will be the youngest male champion in boxing. And, you know, by a long shot, you got Brian Norman Jr.'s 24. You got Bam at 25. Xander's 22. To answer your question, Junior, I use sports bet. The rest of July is looking like easy money. Guys, we got money this weekend. We hit every week, actually. I'm not trying to jinx anybody. I think Shushu can beat all of them except for Espo. Yeah, boxing. So yeah. I mean, I've been high on Rafa his last 3 fights, and Rafa just keeps getting better. At 31 years old, Rafa is 6'1" and fights at 126, and he's mean, and he punches down. There's something. It's similar to what we just saw with Fundora. There's one thing with having a height advantage. There's another thing with using that advantage when you're boxing. So, like, for instance, who did we recently watch? Taller fighter, and he wasn't using his height. It might have been Pacheco. It might have been Diego, who wasn't. No, it was the highlight. It was one of the reasons I didn't. One of the reasons I don't bet. I didn't. Obviously, the main reason I didn't take the Pacquiao fight because it was a sideshow. But when you watch Mario Barrios fight, Mario Barrios is 6 feet tall. He doesn't use his height. So he doesn't get those punches coming down at that angle. You know what I'm saying? Fundora does. Fundora punches like that, and so does Rafa Espinoza. And at 126, Rafa's fighting guys who are like 5'5", 5'6", catching the end of those shots and that hook. And dude, Rafa's uppercut, dude, the lead uppercut from the pocket. There's so much to like about Espinoza. And he seems like he's one of the nicest humans on earth. You know what I mean? So if you're a gentleman, you know, or think to yourself as a gentleman like myself, he's a fun fighter to cheer for. It was a brutal fight, Skeezy. It was a brutal fight. Watching, I mean, Tim was landing. You know what that reminded me of, guys? Skeezy, if Kane's still in this live chat, I know Kane is a young boxer from Sydney. I know he trained, you know, he's trained at PCYC in Sydney, right near me. But where was I getting at with this comment? Fundora. Oh, so if you guys have ever sparred before, this is Fundora versus Zoo. Maybe you guys have, you know, or maybe you remember you just got into boxing, or maybe you have a boxing coach now, or you just got into boxing, or you're learning, or you could remember when you're developing that cardio, you're developing that foundation of your gas tank for the first time, and you're sparring with somebody who's like more seasoned than you, and you run out of gas in a sparring match. You want to talk about the most lost feeling in the world? Do you want to talk about the most hopeless feeling in the world, dude? Is to run out of gas in a fight, dude. I don't care if you're sparring. It's a horrible feeling. So what I saw in Zoo, it was akin to that. Because Zoo was landing heavy at the end of, was it the 7th? And then the fight got stopped in between 7 and 8. But he got caught at the very end with a couple clean shots. And I just think that I just think that Zoo, in his head, he thought that he was going to Fundora would just back up. I think Zoo thought he had the power to stop Fundora. And round after round, when it wasn't doing anything, I think it was kind of like when you're younger and you're trying to spar and you run out of gas and you kind of put the hand up and you're like, nah, I'm good. Like he was demoralized. That he calls himself the soul taker. That shit. Yeah. Yeah, put the heavy bag stuff up in the Discord, Goat. Come on, Goat. Goat, how tall are you? Goat, do you box? Do you really have a blonde afro, Goat? You're gonna laugh at me, but I don't know who that is in your thumbnail. I only know you as that dude with a blonde afro. So if you show up like being like an Italian kid from New Jersey, I'd be shocked. Could you imagine if Goat was like this 5'10" Italian kid with a skin fade with a gold chain? Me the whole time I think he's this light-skinned dude with a blonde fro. Yeah, we have to speak hard truths, Julius. That's why I like the chat. Tim just, yep. You can't beat Fundora doing that. Skeezy, do you have that Discord? Skeezy, it's on our page. Drusky, don't know who that is. 6'2", 150, big boy. Who's Drusky? D. Rusky, I don't know who that is. Oh, that's not you? What the fuck? That's insane. Johnny, thoughts on Higa Vargas? I don't know if I'm going to bet on that fight, boys. I don't know if I'm going to bet on Higa Vargas. Guys, I'm going to take about 5 to 10 minutes here and go to the UFC real quick because I do have, guys, I got my upset of the week. My upset of the week is in the UFC. I shared it in our Discord already, and I'm going to run it by you real quick. Skeezy, we can't share the link in this chat because it's only for boxing insiders. So I'll put it in the community section for members only so you can click the link, Skeezy. Or I'll tag you in it. But Marcus McGee is a 3-1 dog. Dude, if you guys, do you watch MMA? Do you watch the UFC MMA? Watch Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee, you know, dog. He's fighting, he's fighting Peter Yan. Peter Yan, I think Peter Yan's, we've seen the best of him. I think he's definitely, it's fair to say Peter has leveled out. He's plateaued. Every time I see Marcus McGee fight, I'm like, how is this dude not marketed as a potential champ? I mean, unless I missed the fight, I don't think, has Marcus McGee lost yet? Like, how is he not marketed as a potential champ? Marcus McGee is a dog, dude. He's a good grappler. He got dogs in his hands. So he got choked out against he's only fought, look at this. Now, the win against Jonathan Martinez, vote for Pedro. He could fight. He beat JP Bays, Johnny Newsom. He hasn't lost in the UFC. I'm hot. Look, I think Marcus McGee, is world champion status talent. I really do. He comes from a good camp. I'm taking McGee. I'm taking McGee to beat Peter Yan. I've watched Peter Yan since he's come into the UFC. He has good hands, good boxing, former world champion. When he was the champ, he seemed like invincible. He seemed like untouchable. And then sometimes it happens. Similar to, I'm not putting him in the Cody Garbrandt category. But, some guys, when they're champs, they look a certain way. And then when they lose, it's like they stress out so much to try to get it back. And they never have that polish again. So my two upsets of the week are both in the cage, both on this card. Marcus McGee at a 3-1 dog, which I love, and Rainier Derridier. And guys, so I remember in 2016, I interviewed Robert Whittaker after he beat, I think it was Shoeface. And this was at the time when Robert Whittaker just came out of the Ultimate Fighter Tough reality show. He lost at 170 to, I think, Wonder Boy. He had a couple fights at 185, and I'm interviewing him and his young wife at the time. He was 22, in a one-bedroom apartment. His young son, Jack, was just born. He was 20. He was young. So 2016, it was 9 years ago. And I'm interviewing, and I was like, this kid could be a world champion. His style, he eventually became a world champion. So I'm friends with Robert. I know him personally. One of my favorite styles in MMA, one of my favorite people. But Rainier Derridier is that dude. So another personal connection to me is a guy named Onglan Sang. Onglan Sang is a former two-weight world champion for one championship. He was the light heavyweight world champion at 205, and he was the middleweight champion at 185. Onglan Sang is from Yangon, Myanmar. So to give you kind of a grasp of how popular Onglan Sang is, you go to Yangon, Myanmar, the capital city, which was former, Burma, Myanmar's common day Burma, and there's a 20-foot bronze statue of Onglan Sang there. He was unbeatable. He's been training with us, the Sanford MMA. It was Black Zillions, the same camp as like Michael Johnson forever. And he just happened to fight in one championship because that organization is out of Singapore. But Ongla's born and raised, based in Southern Florida. They live in Florida. He just never went over to the UFC. The guy who beat Ongla to take both of his belts was Rainier Derridier. Dude, Rainier Derridier is when I saw him grapple and wrestle and then his striking, he became a two-weight world champion. He took both belts from Onglan Sang in one championship. He came over to the UFC. He's beaten everybody they put in front of him. I'm pretty sure, didn't he just beat Bo Nickel? And he's an underdog against Whittaker. Dog! I like Marcus McGee and Rainier Derridier, both underdogs on the same parlay, 9-1. $100 gets you 900. Let's eat. I already shared that in the Discord. So I shared that in the Discord. And then I think that's going to be my only action. I think that's going to be my only action on that card. Those two fights. I mean, Marc-Andre Barriault, he's fighting Shara Bullet. I mean, Shara Bullet, he looks good and sometimes he doesn't look good. He has gas tank issues. Marc-Andre Barriault, do you know what Marc-Andre Barriault's nickname is? He's a Canadian fighter, also fights down in South Florida. His nickname is Power Bar. Do you know why? Because when you're playing video games, I guess you have a power bar. And as you get hit, more and more that power bar depletes. That's his nickname. That's his style. He's a grinder. He's been stopped before. We've seen it. We've seen him take short notice fights and get stopped. We've also seen him get performance of the night victories by looking amazing. Shara Bullet is obviously a very There's a lot of hype about him. Good striker. When you think Dagestan, you think grappling, you think Khabib Nurmagomedov. This guy is from Dagestan, but he's a striker. He's the one with the eye, and he's an assassin. I'm not going to say I'm jumping on Barriault as the underdog, but if you want to sprinkle something, 6-1 is insane. What else? What's a lock there? I like Damone Blackshear versus Davy Grant. That's going to be a good fight. That's opening up the card. It's a decent card. But, guys, I got to get ready. This is an hour in. I got one more. What do I got today? I got a 4 p.m. I got a box. So I have a client who's coming here. I have downstairs in my gym. We're going to do some technique. Orthodox guys. So I love working the lead hand in the pocket. So working that lead uppercut here and then turning that hook over. So boom, boom. My coach when I was a kid would say, once that lead uppercut lands, just throw the elbow up. So land it, elbow up. And then you bring the body with it. So boom, 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 bring that. So we're going to be drilling that 5-3, 5-3 combo from the Orthodox style. Guys, like this video, subscribe. If you haven't already, you see Boxing Fan, my guy right there has the blue star. Ruby, to get the Discord link, hit the link that's pinned in the comments. So it's a Johnny Says Boxing Insider group. It's a couple bucks a month. You get access to the Discord. You get all the perks on the channel. You get access to me in other ways other than YouTube, Instagram. You get the parlays, lock of the week, and access to probably one of the coolest boxing groups in my opinion. So be good, Dwayne Styles. Thanks for hanging out with me. Watch the breakdowns, and I'll see you tomorrow. Let's get after it.